Sucking on my own dick, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
Sucking on my dick.
Welcome
My
to
penis is
Coward
blue.
Hour.
We're back.
We are back.
Every week we're back.
Every week.
We have never stopped doing this podcast.
And unfortunately, it appears we never will.
I don't think that was hitting me hard today where I was like, man, I guess I'm probably going to do like the world is pretty much ending and I'm still like, got to do Coward Hour.
yeah.
Got to make sure I'm there on time.
Yeah, what else needs to happen for us to not do this?
I don't know. I was seriously contemplating that.
Yeah, because, I mean, here's the thing. I can definitely see, like, a year ago, we needed this podcast.
Yeah.
You were homeless. I was spiraling out, unmedicated.
Absolutely.
This was our rock.
Yeah.
This podcast was the most solid thing we had in our lives. It was all we had tethering us to the world. But now, look at us. We got bays.
Dude, we got bays.
I was going to say we have jobs. I no longer have a job.
Brendan, guess what? Me either.
Really?
Yeah, because, dude,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, an escape room online doesn't work.
no, we went back. We were doing full escape. Brendan, I got tipped $200 last night. I've been working so much. I was like, comedy doesn't exist. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna like fucking plug like as many hours a week as I can, make enough money, better my situation, just like nose to the grindstone. And I don't know if you know this, but cases in Los Angeles are exploding.
Yes.
And they for weeks they were like, it's weird that LA had all those protests and they're fine. Isn't that interesting? And then like today it's like 7,000 new cases. So we're going like back on lockdown like Texas did. Like like escape rooms are closed. I think that like Texas is planning on going back on like full lockdown because their hospitals are over capacity. We are so fucked, dude.
Yeah.
So my job closed and I'm like, well, I probably won't be able to get unemployment again. Like I wasn't able to last time, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that we'll figure it out.
I have listen.
I say we like I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what I'm
Brendan, no one's helping me. I mean, I know we're switching to like we're doing a paywall soon, right?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, by the skin of my teeth, every time that I like should like hit like rock bottom, some wimpy ass fucking trampoline appears under me. So like,
Just like a single pillow. You're
Just-
falling out of a building.
yeah, and it's like, all right, well, I didn't die.
You fall down, just every bone is broken. You're like, I'm saved.
Something always happens. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll be fine. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Nick. If you were gonna ever give up and move home, it would have happened 6 disasters ago.
The problem is, I have a cat now and I have a sense of responsibility to the cat. I can't be homeless. Like, by myself, I'm like, fuck it, I'll be homeless. But now I got a cat and I'm like, I can't make a cat be homeless, dude. Even
No,
though
no.
that cat more than anything wants to be homeless.
Yeah.
She wants to get out so bad.
Yeah, I mean, like dog, I can see, like, you don't want, like, a homeless dog, that's cruel to the dog.
Fucked
like
up.
a stray dog, that's a bad situation.
Terrible.
You feel bad. There's not enough like food for dogs.
Yeah.
You know, like it's dangerous. They get hit by cars. Stray cat, that's how a cat is supposed to function.
Yeah.
It's inhumane to own a cat.
It's wrong to believe. Yeah. Yes, it is. The moaning every night from my cat.
it is just painfully inside.
It wants to get out so bad. Yeah. All right, well, fuck it. Maybe I'll
Your
just
cat is just at the window looking out at like just fireworks hitting helicopters and gunfights and stuff, and all Rita wants is to be part of it.
more than anything, dude. Oh, the fireworks have been popping off too.
Yeah. I got razzed by the Mexicans for getting a little bit too conspiracy.
I think Julian subtweeted you in a fucking Instagram story because he had an Instagram story about that.
Honestly, I don't think it's that crazy.
It's not, because I'll tell you what, I've been living in, motherfucking Julian doesn't even live in Boyle Heights. I've been living in Boyle Heights. I watched a cholo do a double take at a jort sale. Like, not even a kidding, the other day. I've been living in Boyle Heights, is my point. And there have always been fireworks, never like this.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, where the fuck are they coming from?
from
and it's
7 to 4,
and
7
it's-
p.m.
yeah,
to 4 a.m.
It's every night, starting at the exact same time, ending at the exact same time.
They light up my room.
It's like it's different cities all across the country, and they were like, "Oh, you white transplants don't understand like the culture," and it's like everywhere across America, like fucking the New York Post, which you turned me on to.
The Post gets the scoop
Yeah.
every time.
The Post had a video of just firemen setting off fireworks
Right.
like outside the station, and then when they see the guy filming, they like come to like try to stop him.
Yeah. Is that that's not what firemen are supposed to do.
No.
Also, man, this-
that's the opposite of what firemen do.
Firemen are not supposed to be instigating combustion. dude.
Yeah, they're it's their natural enemy.
Yeah, well, it's like this is where I want to play like the Trump card. Like, oh,
Yeah.
the Mexicans said that it's not. I'm like, well, black people said that it is. Trumped, bitch. That's this is their moment. But no, and somebody pointed like there was somebody on Twitter. I didn't see a video of this, but they were chronicling like it's like no one's saying that like the police are. I mean, obviously those firemen were doing that. No one's saying like literally the police are like going into neighborhoods and setting off fireworks, but they are just fucking giving away fireworks to people who live in these lower income neighborhoods, knowing that what do you do with you fucking set them off.
Yeah, so I guess the point is then there's too many there's a bunch of 911 calls that they can't respond to. So they're like, "Oh, sorry, we stopped responding to those complaints cuz you want to defund us." Is that
Yeah.
the point? Like
I mean that won't work in Boyle Heights. we roll with that. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think that in general, it just like it is some kind of like tactic to keep everybody fucking on edge.
yeah, I mean that's it too is like sleep deprivation.
Yeah,
Like, especially cuz they're passing them out in like mostly non-white areas.
yeah.
It's like, "All right, well,
Oh, it's not happening in the suburbs.
you're not getting a good night's sleep, I'll tell you that much. You want to march all day?"
But yeah, some guy said there was like just like plainclothes dudes in like an unmarked van. I'm like, I fucking buy that. I didn't even, dude.
Yeah.
Did you-
I will admit that it was silly of me to hear fireworks and be like, gunshots. I
Yeah.
will admit that was me coming from the suburbs.
sure. Look, man, it's understandable.
But
although,
what else was I supposed to think? Like, it didn't occur to me that people would have steady access to M80s every night.
yeah, well, they're not supposed to. I mean, I think that so. Like, I think there's an explanation for all of it. I think that the surplus of fireworks comes from all of the 4th of July events being canceled, which were think about how many fireworks. A lot of like, because a lot of that is what like fucking departments put on like public. Like the city probably acquired fireworks for some sort of like public firework display, and now it's not being used. So who fucking gets that? Other people in like different municipal departments like the fucking police or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I used municipal, right? Doesn't matter.
This is a fucking CIA psyop.
Well, yeah. I just mean like when you break it down, it's actually not that like the A to B of how it probably happened is not that crazy.
The motive is a little bit hazy.
No, the motive is hazy. I think the motive is totally hazy, but when people are like you think there's a false flag with fireworks, it's like, well, yeah, it's not out of the question. I don't know, man. The cops. I was telling you about it on the phone. If we can just stay on the cops really quick.
Yeah.
Did you see this shit? I know you're off Twitter. This shit in Milwaukee.
No.
Okay.
Tell me, because I'm off Twitter. I'm even off because like I lost my job today, so I haven't even looked at Reddit because I realized I'm like, why do I have Reddit? The only reason I have it is because what else would I do when I'm at work?
Right.
Do work.
No.
So
So
it's
now, dude, it's Reddit 9 to 5 every day. You have to fill that time up.
No, I'm trying to like if I'm in my house and I'm bored, I want to do something that isn't just looking at my phone on my couch.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, go on.
Start going for walks, dude. There's
Yeah.
beautiful hills. I'm gonna paraphrase this.
Maybe I'll go set off some fireworks.
Yeah, just start setting off fireworks.
Except, like, I'm not getting the hookup, so I just have, like, a sparkler, and I'm like, I'm part of it.
Yeah, you have sparklers and black snakes.
Yeah.
You're just like setting off black snakes in front of Armenians. Like, are you sleepy? Like, bet you wish you could go to bed, huh?
Oh, I'm doing it, like, in alliance with the cops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so dude, Milwaukee. Okay, this is like, I can't believe it. I've turned into such a like an ACAB little fuck like, but this is real shit, and it plays back into shit that we've been talking about for a long time. So apparently there were like a bunch of kids going missing in this community, and like weirdly, like no Amber Alerts were put out about them, even though they were reported missing, and there was. In this Milwaukee neighborhood, there was this house that multiple people had reported to the local police department because there was just like it was really shady shit, weird people coming and going. There's a lot of suspicious activity at the house. And so finally the police department comes down, they reluctantly investigate. It is also like the most pedophile dungeon looking house I've ever. I mean, it looks like the house from the beginning of fucking Scooby-Doo. It could not look more cursed. And so the police.
It's fucking Don Draper's shitty house that he goes back to.
Yes. And so the police come in, they search the house, they come out, they're like, nope, nothing in there. And the people in this neighborhood are just like, that's fucking horseshit. And so a community mob forms and they gather around the house. And like the mob starts going, this was Facebook. There was a Facebook Live of this whole thing. It's like, I think 4 or 5 hours long in total. You can watch it. I tried to like sit through as much of the raw footage as I could. It was fucking crazy. And so finally, the mob around the house gets big enough that somebody from inside the house starts fucking firing shots into the mob. And so the police show up again. And like people are saying there's weird shit going on. And the officers are just kind of like standing there stone-faced. They're not intervening at all. And then finally, it's really weird. An unmarked van pulls up to the house. The officers take individuals out of the house. They have them covered in tarp, and the van pulls away. And then the officers go back into the house, and they're like, "Oh, we found kids in here." Dude, they had already searched the house, and they tried to act like, yeah, we just didn't see him the first time. There was a full-on. There were pictures from inside the house. There was a full-on fucking sex dungeon. There was like a list of names that I assume were people that the kids were forced to have sex with. I have to go relook at it. It's crazy. So that means that
They fucking threw a bag over Epstein's head and threw him in the van.
That's fully what they did, dude. And this is where like I got pissed off on Twitter because I was retweeting and I was like, and I still see fucking like party Dems and libs on here who scoff and mock the idea of fucking like organized and protected sex rings, and it's happening on like a low level. Anyway, if a fucking police
It's
department,
happening on every level.
every level, it's the Brendan. I know the last time I said drama is the only currency we had. I was wrong. It's boy pussy. Boy pussy is the only true
yeah.
currency.
Let me tell you, when we're in Mad Max times, it's not going to be oil.
No, it's gonna be.
It's going to be boy pussy.
They're gonna figure out a way to make all the fucking vehicles run on the cum of children.
Yeah, we're gonna stop our muscle car and get out and be going to because we see some boy pussy, and then a man jumps out of the ground to attack us.
So, yeah.
A guy in tights leaps out of the dirt.
People are just like they're siphoning cum out of other pedophiles' assholes. They're just like biting the tube. But it's like, dude, if the police department is working with these sex traffickers, which they fucking appeared to be, it's like, all right, you got to throw. How deep does that go in the? You got to throw the whole fucking department out, right? You can't make an argument for good cops in that situation.
No.
And what's so funny is like, it has been picked up by like some mainstream news outlets, and they all omit what is clearly on the video of them fucking taking people out of that house under tarps. It's anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so fucking fired up. With
No, I mean that's what they fucking do. Same as like that fucking horseshit Epstein documentary on Netflix. Is they give you half the story, so then everybody who's trying to like rail against the real story looks crazy.
Yeah, dude, I heard that was partially funded by Bill Gates. That Epstein doc. I might be wrong.
You know
I'll
what?
have to look it up.
I'm just gonna say yes,
Yes.
100%.
Most
We have some
things are-
sources we can cite, but look, we don't want to bore you.
Honestly, I have a theory that most things are funded by Bill Gates. There's like a 70% chance that something's funded by Bill Gates.
Yeah, I mean, check the address on that that fucking pedophile house. See who's paying the light bill.
It's like, God damn it. I'm so mad that I got born into the end of the world.
Yeah, how great would it be to be like 70 right now?
Oh, a dream. A dream. You were fucking, that means you were what? You were 50? So yeah, dude, you were fucking like 30 in the 70s.
Perfect.
Beautiful time.
Yeah.
That's all I want, dude.
Yeah, I was born in the wrong decade. And by that I mean I should have been a child during these Mad Max times we're talking about. I'd be fucking rich, all that boy pussy.
Yeah.
It's like I was born with a gold mine. This is my trust fund. Just
Yeah.
my asshole.
It's just your asshole and your full balls.
That's even funnier that the currency is like making the boys come.
Yeah.
Like somehow their pleasure is being factored into it.
I think that's like the ritualistic side of it, right? Extracting the pleasure from these what am I talking about?
Now it's like Hannibal, where like we empathize with the pedophiles so much that we can catch them. It's like we can perfectly enter their minds. We're just standing there like looking at a boy's asshole, and then it goes like vroom, vroom, vroom. And then we become the pedophile and we're like, I'm horny. I fuck the boy. This is my design. Yeah, I guess it wasn't that complicated. We didn't. Yeah, I guess this isn't really a big gift that I have.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude.
The world is things are getting pretty spooky out there.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed that like
Yeah,
I found Bay at this time.
Yeah. I don't know why you're pissed. It's a good time to have Bay.
Well, the problem is finding Bay at a time like this means that one of you will probably watch the other die, which is very painful. It's so much easier to die completely alone and like no, I'm not kidding, man. No strings attached. You know.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is I have Bay now, and this is the most I've ever wanted to live.
It's a shit deal. It really is.
Yeah, because we want to be like the charge the pedophile house and a blaze of glory guy.
Yes, dude. You can't Bay, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wives hate that shit.
Yeah, imagine you and I were outside the pedophile house. We have our torches and our pitchforks, and we're about to charge. And we look over, and our bays are just in the car. Like,
Wives hate when you play poker too long. I mean, like, you can't.
much less form a militia to dismantle the pedophile elite.
Wives get
That'd be so funny. We're just like suburban, like house husbands.
Yeah, dude.
And they're like, "Where were you tonight?" And we're like, cheating. It's like, where were you? Nick's house. We were podcasting. It's like, really? Because I talked to Nick's Bay, and she said that you guys weren't over there. I'm like, oh well, you see, I misspoke. And what's that on your hands? Is that gunpowder residue?
No, we were.
No, we
I was smoking cigars. I swear to God.
I was smoking cigarettes. Yeah. Me and Nick, we like to hang out and smoke cigarettes together.
Sidebar. I was re-listening to the Mel Gibson phone call today. And there's a part on it, as you're saying that, it was just making me laugh so hard because I was laughing on the bus on the way over here. because I was
Dude, that is peak older show behavior. It's just sitting on the bus, headphones in, listening to
the 31 minutes of every single Mel Gibson call, the 8 that he made in succession. And there's
Man, I want you to have your own like Library of Congress,
Dude.
Just like what media would be archived forever? It would just be complete horseshit.
I was just thinking, 'cause he got fired from Chicken Run 2 today because Winona Ryder, apparently he something happened. Whatever. I don't want to get into it. But I was listening to his fucking Russian wife be like, "You need to go on medication." He just goes, "What? What?" He goes, "You make me want to smoke."
Threatening to smoke cigarettes.
You make me want to
This is so funny.
Dude, I was fucking slamming my foot down on the 251.
I'm imagining like smoking a cigarette, all like smug, like side eye at your wife.
Yeah, just like in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Your kids are like coughing.
Yeah, just smoking into your child's face.
Yeah.
I deserve to be blown. I deserve to be blown.
I gotta see. Is there any occasion where Mel Gibson speaks to a crowd? I want to see what that would be like. 'Cause,
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like all the great Mel Gibson clips, it's like him. It's he doesn't know he's being recorded. Or something like that.
There's
I want to see him like Trump style doing an hour.
there's a clip of him speaking at like a mega church or something. I want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might be. I know that there has to be a clip of Mel Gibson.
Do you think that there's like, you know how like on a film set sometimes the director will kind of like pep talk everybody?
Yeah.
I'm imagining Mel Gibson like at the top of the pyramid, like, "All right, guys, you're all doing a great job." Just standing in a puddle of blood.
Just yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Mel Gibson at the top of the fucking pyramid, the Aztec pyramid, or whatever. People
Just wearing like cargo shorts.
like, what's he saying? And then it's just the audio from the fucking. That was where he was making the phone call.
Yeah. He's screaming in Spanish, and then the subtitles are "I deserve to be blown," and then the crowd's like, "Ah!"
Like Mel Gibson is on the set of Apocalypto. He's texting. He's like, "Hang on, I gotta go call my wife." And he just ascends the Aztec pyramid. Just screaming at his wife at the top of his lungs, where people were sacrificed to the gods.
And where 1,000 extras are just like kind of unsure what to make of it.
I deserve to be blown. Lightning crashes.
It's somehow like even more than like the eclipse. Like he's up there and like the sky just turns red.
Yeah, exactly.
The sky turns red and you can see Saturn. You're like, I don't think Saturn's that close normally.
Oh, fuck. That
You hear that? That's the sound of me smoking. You stupid bitch.
You stupid bitch. Do you know what's so funny? We riffed this out just now, and I guarantee you permanently in my memory, I will start to think that Mel Gibson made that phone call while he was shooting Apocalypto on top of the pyramid.
Oh, 100%.
That'll be something that I like tell my kids. Like we're watching the movie. I'm just fucking like 50 years, assuming society's still around. I'm just like a 50-year-old retard, just like, did you know that?
Yeah, parents give you so much misinformation.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got into a fight with one of my girlfriend's parents in Maryland because we were watching the movie Fargo, and the first thing in the movie is this is based on a true story. And what's weird is like 20 minutes into the movie, he goes, this is based on a true story. And I was like, well, it's not. Like famously, it's not. And that was my first time hanging out with her dad. Probably wasn't the best first impression because we got into a little bit of a fight. It's like
I can't see you being good at meeting dads.
usually I am. But within the first 20 minutes of meeting somebody's dad, you shouldn't be like pulling up Wikipedia.
So Nick, what do you do for work? Well, I sell my blood, and I intend to marry your daughter.
Yeah. Actually, hang on. Here's why you're stupid.
I bet he doesn't even know where Mel Gibson recorded that voicemail.
Oh, fucking Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was thinking about I almost got off Twitter because I got a premonition of somebody coming for my head for something. I mean, with good reason, honestly.
Don't say that.
No,
That
no,
makes
no.
me very concerned.
No. Not like that. I just mean like my premonition was for good reason because there's somebody in my life who I'm in very close proximity to who there's like a tension between us. And whatever. I just I saw somebody like subtweeting me because they thought that I was subtweeting them. Dude, I got to get the fuck offline. Listen to what I just said.
Yeah, I heard some. I forget what it was. I think it was a TED Talk. It was John Ronson.
Oh yeah,
And he was talking about how he spoke to a bunch of people and when you asked people like what the worst thing that happened to them was, like a super high percentage of them, like if you ask like what's the worst thing that happened to you in the last year, most of them involve social media in some way.
Yeah, it's really bad for you. Mm-hmm. But what drew me back in was Matt McCusker started his own Twitter account. And I tweeted, I was like, okay, I was about to quit, but this is definitely going to be like a Ulysses style, like stream of consciousness. Absolutely right. The man is just throwing theories out.
I need to start a new account and only follow him.
Follow Matt, dude. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, it is not a good way. Social media is not a good way to interact with the world.
No,
at all.
it's not a good way to like consume news. Like I realized I'm like, how am I informing myself? Well, I go to the news, politics, and coronavirus subreddit. I read the headline and then some of the comments. And that is the worst possible way that I could inform myself, both on like a factual level and then also like that is just designed to make my brain upset. There's no like I should just go on like AP and just like read an article once a day.
Yes, I sort of agree with that, but I do think that like Twitter has been huge. It's been crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
just the raw footage of cops fucking beating people, and even the Milwaukee shit. Like, the only place where I saw like the full unedited thing of that was the fucking Twitter.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, but I feel like I got it.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like it's like, all right, I see where this is going. I don't need to finish this.
You know what? You're right. That is true.
It's kind of like when you watch X-Files and you're like, I don't need to watch every episode of this.
Right.
There's probably like 5 or 6 episodes a season I need to really watch.
You're right, because all it is like Twitter is just confirming all of my baseless hunches, which very validating. But ultimately, I mean, somebody pointed out, I think it was the Popular Front guy. He was like, there were like fucking 200 videos of police brutality shared on Twitter, and it was like horrifying and like important. 4 officers were arrested and charged out of that whole fucking month-long thing. During all the protests, 4 fucking officers. Anyway. So yeah, I guess you're right. It is just an anxiety machine.
It really is. I mean, the phone is... Your phone's a fucking slot machine. I didn't make that up. I read that somewhere, and I think we've talked about it before, but it's a slot machine, and slot machines make your brain sick.
Yeah, damn. Oh man, now I'm thinking about slot machines.
I love slot machines.
Me too, but they're so bad to me. It's like, my relationship with slot machines is just like par for the course with like regular relationships.
See, this is why I love flying out of Burbank, because there's always a layover at Vegas.
Oh.
And you get to sit there, you get to look up at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, and you get to put a quarter in a Dolly Parton slot machine.
Yep. And they had, dude, I remember I did that very same layover, and there were slot machines, and they were one of the first places that Vegas airport had breakfast at Wendy's. And I was sitting there eating tater tots from Wendy's, playing slots, just like, I think I might stay in this airport, dude.
Yeah.
I might like. I was like, if I hit it big,
Like I've never even been to like real Vegas.
Yeah.
For me, that's Vegas.
yes. I was rationalized. I was like, if I hit big, I can just buy another plane ticket. So I mean, I might as well miss my flight.
How sick would that be to like like if I at the layover won $1 million, I would cut up my return ticket, just go to PA, just never answer any texts again.
Bye. Bye. But I don't trust.
I'd be like, "Bae, I'm a millionaire now. Come to the woods with me."
Yeah. I'm building a house for you. I don't trust those digital slot machines.
I'm
though.
clearing land. I'm clearing a fertile grove
Well, hang
for
on.
us to homestead.
Don't start building a grove.
Oh yeah,
We get very
groves aren't
suspicious.
typically good.
We don't like when people begin building and, having events at groves.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know what I was thinking.
What were you thinking, dude?
I am so sorry.
You can't be building a secretive grove. You can't be building a grove encloaked by, the forest and shit, dude. That is where we know what goes down there. Next, you're going to be building a statue of an owl.
I can't be doing that.
You
I'm
can't
so
be building
sorry.
statues of Moloch.
So where does the Illuminati fit into all this?
I'm starting to think that the Illuminati's like a smokescreen or something. I don't know. I mean, I literally fucking don't know. Although it does, like,
Yeah, I think all that shit. It might be like cosplay for these guys. Like, there's definitely billionaires who control everything,
yeah.
but I don't think that they believe in like mystical shit.
I don't know.
But maybe they do. That's the thing.
This is my whole thing. It's funny that the Crystalia thing as a microcosm, like the fact that he like this is. I'll bring this back. But like people love to refute. I sound stupid, but whenever you like point to all the signs that like something's going on, they're like, well, why would they hide the fucking hints right out in the open? And it's like, all right, well, why did Crystalia choose to play a fucking pedophile? Like,
They get such a thrill out of almost being caught.
there's definitely some kind of a thrill, right? There's something going on of like, or even shit
And
like Kevin Spacey, like,
And they know they know that if they put it out in the open confident enough, it makes people question that they're seeing it right. Because they're like, well, why would it be that obvious if I'm right?
I mean, I think it's also just like it's simpler than that. I think that it's just like one of the main rules of like perversion is like as you become more acclimated to whatever it is that gets you off, like your flagrance with it, like to
You
chase,
start to forget that it's wrong.
well, also to chasing the sexual high. It's got to get like exponentially more fucked up to keep getting you off. I mean, I can like in a far less extreme sense, I can relate to that with like sexual experiences that I've had where it's like, okay, that was fun that time, but like. We gotta get the magic back a little bit. I'm gonna fuck. I wanna
Okay,
fuck
that
you
was
against the
fun,
window.
but let's get some ranch on that hole.
All right.
Honestly, like did you see that Crystalia, to try to defend himself, just doxed all the women?
What?
He's like, I read this article today. It was like Crystalia's team. They just released all the receipts, and and they're like, see, the girl actually like wanted to talk to him. It's like, yeah, because she was groomed.
Yeah.
Also, like, for being like a famous playboy, these are like the cringiest fucking texts. Like the one, they're like Crystalia messaged the woman and said, "I want to have naked sex with you." To which she responded a winky emoji. It's like, well, that's worse than fucking a 16-year-old. I want to have naked sex with you. You should get the death penalty.
Dude,
You should be.
I saw the one text that he sent that said yes with like 17 S's, and then he's like, "Can we make out?" It's like, bro, you have no fucking game at all. You're on NBC. Like, you should have a little game.
That's the thing. Like, he's another fucking Max Landis, where it's like, this is the corniest dude ever.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dad is literally a director.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
But, honestly, comedians are bad.
They're bad, dude. Especially fucking ones that are born rich, which appears to be
Almost all of them.
what I'm realizing is that's how you become a comedian. That's the way.
I mean,
like,
that's how you become a comedian if you weren't already a comedian in the 90s.
yeah, dude. But even some of those guys, like fucking came from yeah. But basically, everybody.
I mean, like, Harvard guys, yeah, but I don't see that many, like, club comics who are, like, rich who made it before, like, 2000.
That's true, but those also aren't really. I feel like the guys that you're thinking of weren't served to audiences the same way.
No.
That like all the ones in like like, I guess it is kind of a post '90s phenomenon, but still, so everybody's fucking praising Big Mouth for Jenny now that one of the characters is going to be voiced by an actual black actress.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean the pedophile cartoon?
The pedophile cartoon that was created by a billionaire.
Yeah. Yes.
Hell yes. More. We need to support more billionaires in comedy.
Yeah. The billionaire stopped making the weird sexual cartoon racist.
Yeah. It's literally a show about 12-year-old kids fucking and coming.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
What the fuck happened to you that you're that fascinated with like that stage of adolescence? Most of us stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be like, I remember coming for the first time.
Yeah, and I'm fixated on I have
and
3 seasons of material about it.
Yeah, I have 3 seasons of material about girls' first periods as a billionaire man.
I do like that also yeah, Big Mouth, like there's something really fucking weird that like those kids are gonna be 12 for 10 seasons probably. Like it is like it's more material about like sexual awkwardness as an adolescent than anybody has experienced. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck is that show?
I don't
Why
fucking
is
know.
it good? Why do people like it? It has like
I
a
watched
90.
the first episode, and like honestly, the way I interpreted it is it's like the kid, like he gets horny or whatever, and then the monster that I guess is like his hormones speaks to him, but it's just like, oh, that's whoever molested you. That's what that is you've manifested whoever molested you. Your dad's billionaire friends who passed when your dad's billionaire friends played Sun Swap.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, it's a goofy monster. And he's telling me about how my body works.
We're playing a game. Dude, it's even just like the pitch. I'm thinking about the pitch right now because, like, okay, it's one thing to be like, okay, yeah, we want to make a show about, like, kids who are, like, adolescents. There's a sexual component because that happens. But it was Nick Kroll going, it's a show about 12-year-olds, sex the whole time. Every episode, every storyline. Like,
Oh, well, are they going to be drawn kind of artistically? No,
No.
it looks worse than American Dad.
like it's, yeah, you're right. It's so funny that, like, fucking alt comics will rag on dudes for, like, oh, what are you going to tell another dick joke? And then, like, that's a critical darling. It's just dick and pussy and period jokes.
Yeah. Well, you see, you made the mistake, Mr. Stand-Up Comedian, of talking about your dick presently coming, which
Right.
is gross.
It's gross.
Now, if you told me about what your dick was like coming 30 years ago, then it's art.
Right.
If you recollect,
How
if you could recollect you coming from the perspective of a 50-year-old man.
Oh, dude. I can't wait to get slapped with a lawsuit from some fucking for making her envision my current dick.
You just call, like, you just open the phone book and find a woman's name and call her, and you're like, my dick's coming. And she's like, oh my God. And then you're like, and I'm 12. And she's like, go on.
Jesus Christ.
Ugh. Man, I mean, everything, the themes of this podcast, I really wish that they wouldn't resonate more and more with the zeitgeist as we go on.
Yeah, look, man. On one level, I'm very proud of it. On the other, I kind of wish I had been wrong about more things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard.
The
don't
event
really-
was so funny to talk about the event.
before it happened. Oh my god, when we were being rambunctious and provocative.
Yeah. I loved riffing about a fascist
Dude.
hellscape pandemic.
There was nothing funnier than getting drunk and like waltzing up to Dom Fair and going, we're all gonna die, right?
Yeah, you getting drunk off of one glass of wine
my
and
God.
then bothering people. Be like, the industry's all pedophiles.
People still don't see it.
You know that director that you love? He's bad.
He's bad, and he is. Mm-hmm. There was a.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I can't just recap Twitter. I hate that you're off Twitter because there was a Bryan Singer thread this week too that was fucking crazy from a blue check mark.
Tell me that, but first I just want to say that like I was hanging out with Bay and her friends,
Hell
and
yes.
Steven Spielberg came up,
Hell yes.
and I just like started sitting on my hands. But Bay, she's like, yeah, Brendan doesn't like Steven Spielberg, and I'm like, why would you do that? And then her friend's like, why? And I'm like, I looked at her, I'm like, look, you made me do this.
Super Bowl '88, baby. Heather,
And I just-
investigate the death of Heather.
I had like
O'Rourke.
way too much shit. I like went into the Super Bowl '88 thing.
Oh
and-
my God.
Which like people don't. That doesn't typically sell people at all.
Which
but
is-
then I'm like, well, then when they're like, I don't know about that. I'm like, yeah, and his daughter a month ago decided to be a sex worker because she was sexually abused as a child, but it wasn't anyone famous or important.
Right. So how did it happen?
Yeah.
If you're Steven Spielberg's daughter,
Yeah.
How
Who
did
are you
that
hanging out with who's not famous and important?
how would that not like if
Who's in Steven Spielberg's house?
right if somebody sexually assaulted Steven Spielberg's daughter, would there not be very public litigation against that person? Like, wouldn't there be a very, very public lawsuit?
They would be killed.
Well, that might not be public if that happens. But yeah, man, like, whatever. I know we could talk about this forever, and we're not saying anything new, and nothing will change, which fucking sucks. I think that is where, like, I know that we have been gotten. I know that
I
we've-
can't wait to get Gary webbed. Except instead of our head, they just shoot our dicks twice.
Dude, it's so funny that like the last 3 episodes have just been like crazy spiraling, and everybody in the Discord's been like, it's been a nice return to form. Everybody's getting fucking nostalgic.
Ugh, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I've given up on the fact that like I had the epiphany that like if I ever make any headway, I am not gonna have a traditional career.
No.
It's funny. I'm still working on something that would require me to. I guess what happens now is like if this thing that I'm working on gets made, and I'm not even gonna say who I'm working on it with anymore because like I don't want to put them in jeopardy. But it's like if it does get made, I guess I'll just be like, look, take my name off of it. Pay me a fair amount. I'll disappear forever. Give me $100,000. I'll make it last till I'm 80. I'm a reasonable man.
You're going to immediately convert it to boy pussy before the dollar crashes.
It's like me and Joe. It's like I really should have waited till society collapsed.
I got a warehouse full of boy pussy and I
God.
cannot move it.
Yeah, I can't move it at all. Also, I'm gonna be in here when the bombs go off.
It's just you in a fallout shelter with just many boys. Yeah. You're like, I should have put more food in here.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I'm not even a pedophile. I thought I would be able to trade this.
Oh,
You were going to be ammo. You were going to be food.
yeah. Now he's got dead boys because I can't even afford to feed them.
There's no bummer like a bunker full of dead,
Dead
boys.
boys. Ugh. The
Just
resale value plummets. Once the boy is dead.
Once the boy's dead, there's a brief moment where the boy
Oh,
appreciates in value.
There's a window,
to a certain demographic.
but you gotta have buyers on deck, dude. Mm-hmm. And I do not have those contacts lined up yet at all.
no.
Brendan, this is a weird riff.
No, this is like it's like how oil had a negative value for a little bit. So it's like, oh, so I could take it and then like sell it. And it's like, yeah, but it's really expensive to store.
Barrels full of boys.
This is another one of those moments where I'm like, Jesus Christ, we are out in the fucking water. And then I remember I'm like, no, this is what this is always like.
This is always. I think that we have like moments of. I feel like we come out of our fugue occasionally. Like occasionally we'll have really down to earth episodes where I feel like we're just looking back at the entire like body of work of this podcast and we're like, what the fuck was that about? Why were we saying all that?
Yeah, this podcast, it's either got to make us a lot of money at some point or disappear forever.
Well, what I was thinking about is just like, we'll see how things go. If I get anything, I think it's probably going to be from this podcast, so I might as well fucking go for broke because I think it's funny, man. Like the favors that I've done, I'm thinking of a specific person when I say this. I got to really be careful I don't get too messy on the cast, but like I know that I have like reached out and like done favors for people and like connected them with people and like it has definitely bolstered them and improved theirs, and like opportunities have opened up for them, and I would never get that in return from those people. And I understand because like you can't even suggest me for anything, not even like I deserve it, but like just on my face, the industry doesn't want me, which honestly maybe is fine. As I care less and less about comedy, I'm like, yeah, fucking put people. I'm like, I guess I really don't give a shit now that I'm not as invested.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had that epiphany where I was like, yeah, I guess it's probably gonna be the podcast.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I'm gonna do stand up because I like it, but like,
yeah,
get
stand
past
up.
at a club.
Yeah, stand up's a fun hobby, but like I was thinking about it. Isaac and I were discussing this, where like I have so much resentment about not making it, but then I think about it and I'm like, if you gave me a career as like a headliner tomorrow, I don't have the ability.
Yeah,
Like I don't have the talent at that. And where this jealousy comes from is that other people who functionally can't do the job are getting to.
exactly.
But that doesn't mean that if I was in their place, I would do a good job.
Yeah, I had that epiphany a lot, and it helped curb my jealousy a little bit. It does still fucking suck that like I mean I think I get angrier for the really good people who aren't paid their due.
Yeah, yeah.
Even more than myself probably, but like. Yeah, I mean, we're not saying anything new. It's just very frustrating.
Yeah.
Sean Preston retweeted this really interesting thread by this guy from fucking San Francisco, and I think he would probably identify more with the alt scene, but what he was saying rang very true, where he's like, stand-up on all sides is one of the most like toxic communities you can participate in because like the level at which there are so many people who are good enough to do it professionally, and there are so few, like the amount of spots to actually like for people to actually like do that in a significant way is very few, basically. He's like, and it just like the whole culture of stand up, especially right now, is just resentment and fucking hazing and like gas. It's just like shitty, dude.
Yeah. I was thinking about it because it's like there's so much advancement based off of like marketability, but then the person can't actually deliver. Like, how many of these comics who like there's comics who like when I moved here 2 years ago were like, it's like, oh, they're the people with heat who like are about to make it, and they're still there, and the reason is because the industry gives them a million chances and they can't not shit the bed for a single one of them.
Yeah. Well,
So it's like, all right, we'll give you another pilot, we'll give you another this, another this, and it's like they're just not funny. So like you can give them all the chances that you want, it's not going to work.
I'm gonna parrot something. I'm biting something that I heard McCusker say. So like full disclosure, I'm But he made a really interesting point where he was like, just like with the way that culture is right now and how quickly we cycle through, even it relates even to like canceling. I don't think that like career security as an entertainer doesn't exist anymore. He was like, basically, we're just gonna have in the future, like the 15 minutes of fame thing will be even more literal. You'll have a bunch of flashes in the pan. They have 2 years where they're hot, and then they're back to fucking like struggling
Yeah.
at clubs, maybe even below that level. Dude, there's so many people like. To all the people who I thought in 2014, all the people who we thought were going to be like the next voices in comedy, they just immediately fell off.
They fell off, and it's like the people who had specials and stuff when we were in high school, they're still the ones getting it, and then occasionally somebody else pops up and then falls off.
Dude, but even they're like on the decline. Like
Yeah.
every comic that I liked in LA is no longer representative of LA comedy. Like the year that I moved out here, like even you think about like Ty Glass, Eddie Pepitone, even fucking like I'll say like Pete Holmes or whatever, they're doing well, but they're irrelevant to the conversation
Yeah.
of like this, the state of comedy.
I mean, yeah, it's like they're grandfathered in. They're no longer like they wouldn't get the chance now, and it's not because it's not because they're not just as funny as they were then.
It's just that like that,
It's just, I mean, like imagine like a talent rep sitting in the audience watching a show, and they had no idea who Eddie Pepitone is, and he goes up and he murders because he's Eddie Pepitone. They'd be like, gross.
yeah, yeah, he's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like everybody has to be hot now. It used to be like all musicians were hot. Fucking everybody's hot now. Like if you want to be
Yeah.
funny, you got to be hot.
You ever like I guess you can't really do this anymore, but I remember going on Comcast on demand and watching like
The Ice House, Comedy Time.
watching like 30-minute like Comedy Central specials and be like, "Oh, these people are ghouls."
Right, yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I remember like even back when I used to listen to like You Made It Weird, they would talk about like the great thing about comedy is you don't have to look a certain way, you don't have to be hot.
Yeah. Nope.
No.
You got to be hot.
Yeah.
You literally fucking have to be hot. You got to be a hot teen.
You have to either be hot or you have to be a woman who says she's hot so loud that people start to believe her.
Right.
I'm hot. Men want to fuck me. I guess it must be true.
That is true.
Well, I don't think she'd say it that many times.
That is a woman's skill. A guy cannot get away with insisting that he's hot.
Yeah.
Even if he really is.
I mean, yeah. Imagine the male equivalent of that is yelling, "I deserve to be blown into yourself." And that doesn't go over well at all. I deserve to be blown. That's fucking girl comedy. That's fucking. You go to the fucking Lyric Hyperion. It's just the girl equivalent of women going out, "I deserve to be blown," and then just like confused clapping.
You're right. You know what's so funny? There's a specific person on Twitter who she's just the gender flipped version of the Mel Gibson phone calls.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we know who I'm talking about.
I think we are, and like I'm gonna make fun of them without saying who they are. But like, just seeing like a bunch of people, because anytime, like with Chris D'Elia, he's like so obviously guilty and like a bad person.
Yeah.
And every time that happens, then people want to do like a victory lap and throw in their thing.
Yes.
So people are like, "Oh, and this comic was also rude to me and stuff," and it's like, "Oh no, we caught a rapist."
Yeah.
Like, we need to focus on that. So then people were like posting their own stories and everything, many of them valid.
Sure.
But then one person was like, we can't just think about the women who were sexually assaulted. We have to think of the women like me who are too fat to be assaulted and thus never got the chance to trade harassment for favors. It's like, you are the most delusional.
Dude. Yeah, like that's mental illness. And
Yeah.
Twitter.
And that's a person who had a pilot and was somehow unfun. I can't. This is getting too specific. I don't even know this person, so I mean, who cares if they're mad at me? They don't know who I am.
yeah.
But it's like,
That's
what
objectively
the
crazy.
Fuck, are you talking about?
And
So
what-
you're a victim both ways.
yeah, that's it
Yeah.
exactly. No matter what the fucking situation
Yeah.
is, I'm the victim. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
It's
what
like,
you said.
I'm not hot enough for men to creepily want to take me under their wing. It's like, Congrats. I don't know. What?
And this is where it's like, this is where I really think that like Twitter might be one of the biggest contributors to a national mental health crisis because those people fucking log on. Nobody wants to be like nobody wants to say, hey, I don't know if you're being completely reasonable because they'll get fucking eaten alive because they just criticized the blue check mark.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So these people are emboldened by thousands, if not tens of thousands of fucking like validation points.
The way Twitter should work is if you're going to have a take, you need to float it out and one person gets to see it at a time.
Yeah. We honestly
So you post it and then one of your followers is like, well, I have some follow-up questions before everyone can read this.
honestly, there should be a team like Facebook who just screen mentally ill tweets.
Yeah.
They gotta
It's like TikTok where just like just a prison of Chinese people at keyboards.
gonna say that.
It's like, all right, yeah, put that one on the front page.
They got to put nets outside the building.
Yeah.
People reading Roxanne Gay's tweets.
Yeah, TikTok is so crazy because it's like going viral was a choice.
Yeah.
We're like Twitter, it's obviously like weighted algorithmically, like certain kinds of accounts are weighted differently and everything. But like with TikTok, it's literally just a Chinese man being like, that one. It may not. I mean, the company's Chinese. It probably isn't Chinese people making the decision because it's mostly English content.
Nah, fuck it,
But
let's
like,
just say that
it's
it is.
funny to imagine it's all 80-year-old Chinese men like cigarette ashing on a fucking like beige
Yeah, dude.
old ass keyboard.
They've got a fucking like a 1995 like big boxy PC screen. They're squatting at it, smoking. They're just doing the fucking. They're doing the Chinatown squat.
They're squatting while shitting in a hole.
The computer is not on a desk. It is on a dirt mound.
The computer is
Inside a
on like
building.
the computer is like on another Chinese man who's the desk.
And you know what's fucked up? They're much fairer than the American entertainment industry. On TikTok, everybody gets a turn to go viral.
It's true.
Like my sister, I was talking to my parents on the phone a couple weeks ago, and apparently my sister like uploaded a video that went viral on TikTok. I'm like, yeah, that happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. Dude, we love Emperor Mao. He
Yeah.
makes sure that everybody gets a little viral.
TikTok,
thing.
we redistributed the likes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a tanky for TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Bay about TikTok, and she was telling me, she's like, yeah, there's this famous TikTok person who's like legitimately famous because he like shimmies his shoulders in a way that people find really pleasing. And every video is just him doing that.
Saw this guy.
And I'm like, oh, of course people like that more than stand-up comedy.
Definitely.
That sounds delightful.
I've given into it too, where I'm just like, I've accepted the fact that TikTok is replacing stand-up, and it's probably good, honestly. It's probably fine.
Yeah.
That's a much better
I don't
thing.
care anymore.
Nor should you. It was Brendan.
Yeah.
Look into my eyes for a minute. It was a stupid thing to ever want.
It was a stupid thing to everyone.
Genuinely was.
Honestly, I feel I love how like every episode now it kind of follows the same like 3-act structure where it's like up top we got some hot riffs, talk about our weeks, then we descend to doom, and then the end is just us complaining about the industry that has rejected us.
Do you think that people like this?
They do. That's the crazy part, is they legitimately do.
I mean, sometimes
I mean,
honestly-
like on this last part, it might be like when we used to listen to like You Made It Weird. It's like, all right, now they're talking about God, so
Right.
I'll skip to the next episode.
Right. Oh no, I listen to that shit.
It might be the part where like, all right, they're talking about open mics now, so let me listen to next week's episode. Skip to the part where they talk about guns.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what guilty thought I have been having
What?
in regards to this podcast every week when I'm cutting the clip,
Uh-huh.
which is, what does this have to do with the hard times at all? I mean, I think that every week.
Yeah, I guess I never really put that into perspective of like, imagine you're just like, oh man, funny article about Morrissey. Oh, I'm going to follow this Instagram page. oh yeah, they have a podcast about like
Yeah.
their video games. That makes sense. Yeah,
Punk
they're-
band podcast.
Yeah, all right. And what's this?
We're skating. I think we're skating by on the fact that I'm wearing a Jism shirt, and that's the only connection to Hard Time. Like, I can't tell you how many times they'll post it on Twitter, and the only comment is "nice shirt."
Yeah, it's like, why is this podcast on this network? And it's like, well, one of the guys on it writes for the site. And it's like, oh, well, when's the last time you wrote an article for the site? It's like, well, it's been a while.
I did have a thought. Once things started to go, we could even do it before then. Once things started to go back to normal, I realized I know a bunch of fucking musicians who have good stories. We should start getting them on.
Yeah, we could do that.
I think I'm gonna try to. Well, I don't want to. I'm not gonna name drop because watch me. Like, I'll say a name and then they're like, I would never do your podcast. But yeah, we should. I've been thinking about that. Maybe we should start doing that eventually, just so there's some connecting tissue.
But yeah, I mean, social media, this is so much more artistically rewarding than stand up or like being funny on social media for me.
Definitely.
Because we get no feedback.
At all.
Basically at all. Like,
The only feedback I get are from like the people who are in the Discord, and I
Yeah.
want to know what they think.
yeah.
And then like,
But
any-
everything else, it's like, it's just a complete vacuum.
dude. Any additional?
And I don't think we would make the same product if we had feedback.
I agree. Oh, that was, dude. That my whole problem with stand up, especially once I got out here, was anticipating what comics would be saying about me. Like if I said something that was fucking off color, what the people that I would have to see every week would be saying about me.
Yeah.
like behind my back. You know, it's just like that's never gonna breed like no other. Well, that's not true. No other art form, but like a lot of art forms, you don't have to. That's not a component of it at all. Mm-hmm. And like you're unhindered to just fucking like do what you. I don't even want to call stand up an art form, but anyway, you understand what I'm saying.
Stand up, which was once an art form.
Yeah. Imagine if fucking Picasso had to also be hot. He would flip out.
Yeah.
He would not be happy.
Speaking of stand up as an art form, I was on Netflix browsing and I started I started watching the Dave Chappelle Mark Twain Award thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It was like the Mark Twain Award is the highest honor in stand up comedy. I've been a comedian for 10 years and I was like, I've never heard of this.
You never heard of the Mark Twain Award?
I mean, I'd heard of it, but like I was never like, who's getting it this year?
No, dude, it's rich people shit. That's really what the Mark Twain Award is. Is like it's this big fucking thing in the Kennedy Center. It was crazy though. It's so funny. And again, like the dark side of stand up, he shouts out Tony Wood. They cut to Tony Woods, who was a comic that I did Sonomas in Columbia, Maryland with. Tony Woods is a dude who taught Dave Chappelle like everything he knows. Motherfucker's doing bar shows in Baltimore County. Like, and it's just like, yeah, that's the fucking other side of stand. It's like, Dave, you couldn't have helped him at all.
Yeah.
You couldn't have fucking like, you couldn't let him open for you or anything. Like,
I remember taking a it was free, so it wasn't that big of a ripoff, but the guy did it was kind of weird. But anyway, there's this guy at the Reading Comedy Outlet. He's like, yeah, I came up with Dave Chappelle in DC. And like he was telling the truth.
yeah.
And yeah, so he was teaching a stand-up class at the Reading Comedy Outlet, and then the next time I saw him, he had a stroke, came to an open mic in Philly, and got turned away.
Oh my God, dude.
He's because he was like, "Can I go up?" And they're like, "No, like you can go up at 1:30 in the morning." And he's like, "But I've like opened for Dave Chappelle." They're like, "Yeah, we don't know who you are."
Should have got a podcast.
Yeah.
Should have started a podcast, you loser.
Yeah, but I mean that guy was from the generation where you did fucking help out. Like I remember
Yeah.
I had no business being in front of this crowd, but he was running a comedy club at one point, and I just showed up because I wanted to go see the show. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to do 5 minutes?" like 2 months into stand up. And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I go up in front of this all black crowd, do my 2 months in stand up act. But he was so nice. He went up and he's like, all right, this next comic, he's pretty new, but I really like him. So let's all give him a shot. Which like sounds mean, but the audience like adjusted their expectations perfectly.
Oh yeah, dude.
And they're like, all right.
you just need to let black crowds know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because there's a real, and I get it too. It's like there's a real expectation for like it's like no, we want to be fucking entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember performing for an all black crowd at Sully's Comedy Cellar, the original location of Magoobies, and I was bombing. And then I had one joke that popped, and this large black dude in the front went, "Okay, Nick Oldershaw." Not a good set, one of the best sets of my life.
I don't know if this is like a form of racism, but the laughter of black people is so important to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if I bomb with every white person in a crowd, but like one black grandfather loves me, I'm like, success.
Although that's dangerous. Because it might be a dude brutally making fun of you. Like you got to be wary of black laughter because sometimes
I have a clip of me doing stand up that it's one of the first times I did my black ambush joke.
hell yeah.
It's me at the Cleveland Comedy Festival. And the way that the room was set up, it was like a weird L-shaped room. So the angle is filming like me profile. So you can see the table that's in the very front, which is all black people.
Right.
And I do my black ambush joke. And when I hit the punchline, you can see the one guy at the table lean back in his chair and start stomping his feet and clapping his hands in the air.
Yes.
And sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I watch that.
The goal.
I'm pretty sure he and the other guy like high five.
Yes, dude. Yes. Oh fuck, dude! The goal is to make every black room act like the end of that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Carlton runs around the whole house.
Yeah,
that's what you want more.
Where
than
he
any-
leaves the set.
Yes, where he runs into the audience.
Right, I think I gotta wrap it up.
I gotta wrap it up too because I gotta bounce home.
All right. Yeah. Join the Discord. What else are we telling people to do now? Anything?
No, I mean I guess once the paywall goes up, we'll
Yeah.
start telling people to subscribe to that because we'll be doing we'll be having extra content like extra
Yeah,
episodes, access to the old episodes because those are.
Yeah. Oh, we do just want to let you know. We should be upfront that the first 50 episodes we're gonna put behind the paywall because Nick was homeless. I was off meds. There's a lot in there that could be used against us at some point. So
Yeah, a lot of interesting takes.
so we would like you to at least have to pay to cancel us.
Yeah, I'm not one. I don't support the toppling of statues, okay? But we are going to, I do think maybe we should put those statues somewhere that it's a little harder to get to them. Just so, a place, if we put them in a museum
remember,
where the context makes sense, like behind a paywall, you're like, okay, this is from a different time.
Yeah. There should be a student discount, like a museum.
Yeah.
You can get a tote bag on your way out. I remember a couple weeks ago you said to me, you're like, we were discussing what it was like at the beginning, and we were like, you remember when we thought the wildfires were from government lasers, drones out of the sky?
Well, to be fair, there was a very compelling thread on Twitter.
Yeah, I guess we're basically, you know what? I don't know why I brought that up, because that's basically what we did today.
It's all the same shit, but we're just the left Twix now. We were right Twix before, now we're team left Twix. See you guys.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See a lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already, I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady, now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo heavy petting on a Friday night. That talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right. Got my candles in the fishnets cause it's on tonight. Oh that's right, it's time to fillet, no need to debate me. I suck until I go ooh wee and spray my white pee. I got that ski.